Last time we looked at a PlayStation 1 title released years after the console's lifespan. Now let's go to the other extreme, on next gen, and take a look at one of the PlayStation 2's launch titles. It's the winter of 2000, and that sexy monolith PlayStation 2 is being released, and the pre-ordering system was draconian as hell. I mean seriously. It was only available via pre-order, a deposit was mandatory, only one system per household, and a form had to be filled out in triplicate, one for Sony, one for the store, and one for the customer. So, after all that bureaucracy, what offerings did we have to choose from? Some okay titles, some meh, some not so great. Screw it, let's go right to the bottom of the list and pull out one of EA's offerings, X Squad. Like many people, I'm dubious about EA, but this was developed by Electronic Arts Square, a brief joining of EA and Squaresoft before Squaresoft and Enix merged to Square Enix. If Squaresoft had some involvement, this should be alright. I mean, Square have never released anything bad.
Listen up. Let's roll.
Wait.
X Squad, an elite military force with a silly try-hard name, with Violet Berlin, Liza Minnelli, The Rock I guess, and Nina Williams. None of these people have personalities and are just as forgettable as this game. It's 2037 and a group of terrorists have taken over a secret military base containing the mysterious Project Medusa. The scientists need rescuing and blah 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 cliched plot. Could this loading screen and interface be more early 2000s? Nonsensical swirly background? Check. Oval-shaped options? Check. Chain link fence because grr, manly hard? Check. I think they got their inspiration from action replay box art. X Squad is, funnily enough, a squad-based third-person action shooter, utilising a questionable teammate AI system. Squad is in the name and squad is what you get. Ash takes control of the other members with a clunky command interface. Point the already inaccurate crosshair to where you want anybody to go. Hold the square button, select a command, and actually pray they will head towards these weird arrows made of balloons. This being an early PS2 title, the AI, and let's be kind here, is bollocks. They will just stand there, get stuck on corners, not using anything for cover, and not join you when you're waiting for a lift. Maya, are you okay? Just psyching yourself up? Okay, great.
Let him go!
There is a stealth command. It's hard enough to get Ash to jank his janky ass around unnoticed, let alone try not to get the other three to Leroy Jenkins themselves into an early grave.
Shoot! Keep shooting!
But that's what happens when you're trying to command a squad with the pathfinding skills of a Roomba. A lot of the time I was having Ash take the lead, because these idiots will say Roger and attempt to walk up some stairs and fail. Most of the time I was like,
Go on! Oh, hell, I'll do it myself.
At the end of each stage, your X-squadding is judged, and you'll be thrown a pittance to spend on weapons and items. If you want the better, more expensive weapons to make the game easier, you need to be good in the first place, negating the point of making the game easier. Well, giving orders has a quick select. Does changing weapons and selected items? Well, yes, for Ash, but not for the others. These idiots need constant babysitting. If they run out of ammo, they will default to the infinite ammo Michael's 45. If you want them to use something else, press select, go to equipment, choose equipment, back out, back out, back out, every bloody time. At some point, the top scientist, Dr. Noble, is kidnapped and the squad has to rescue her. Accompanying them is Dr. Noble's guardian, Colonel Clifford, who will not take orders from a bunch of teenagers. Nope, you can't control him. Clifford relies entirely on the already bad AI. Is he any help? Moving along. As you may have noticed by my tone, this isn't very good. It's a good idea and has been done well elsewhere, but this is such a lackluster execution. The levels are just unnecessarily confusing mazes. Real buildings are not like this. I cannot stress enough about the frustrating AI. It's like herding cats. It's like opening a door for a cat that wants to go outside and then it just sits there by the door. And speaking of doors, it does that thing that first-person shooters of old did, having a button that unlocks it nowhere near the actual door. You know when you get up, go into a different room and then stand there for a couple of minutes trying to remember why you went in there in the first place? This is the video game equivalent of that. You turn on your PS2, you play it for 10 minutes, then have to glance over at the box to remind yourself what you're playing. This is okay, but that's the problem. It's so generic you may forget you played it a couple of days later. But this was a launch title and something needed to be ready for the new console, and X Squad fills that space, I guess. Is it bad? Yes and no. On one hand, it's not bad, it's fine, it's adequate, but paradoxically, that's what makes it bad. It's so generic and bland, it's boring. If you explain video games to aliens in one paragraph and ask them to make one, this is what they would come up with. It has characters, it has shooting, it has plot, it has levels, it is game, play game. The squad command mechanic doesn't make this stand out now, and it didn't make it stand out at launch. It is X Squad, it is game.
I don't know. I just don't get it.